is Alyssa with Food for Success. I'm a registered dietitian. I have started just a tad early so I can make sure everything is working technically. Well, how's it going out there, people? Are you guys all ready for back to school? I sure am. It's been a great summer. I hope you had a great summer too. We're now doing a hard shift to a new fall routine, and maybe you and your family are trying to figure that out this weekend too. I wanted to do this lunch packing event today because I'm hoping to give you lots of really good ideas so you can tackle the grocery store or curbside or whatever and be ready for school starting. New Braunfels, where I live, a lot of us are starting this week. And so, yeah, I hope this is really helpful for you today. Just a little bit about us. I am the owner of Food for Success and a registered dietitian. And we have an amazing team of 3 other registered dietitians, and we do one-to-one counseling. We help with prevention and management of medical conditions like diabetes, obesity, heart health, digestive disorders, and we help families and individuals lead healthier and happier lives with improving their relationship with food and debunking a lot of bad nutrition advice out there that we all know about, and giving you great ideas for day-to-day life. So that's what I'm here today for. I know that even myself as a mom, like I get burnt out on packing lunches. And so this is even like gathering all this is even helpful for me too, just to kind of refresh my brain for ideas and start off the new year strong. But I mean, lunch packing can feel like a little bit of a Groundhog Day, like repeat morning after morning, and kind of putting the same things in and kids getting burnt out and bored. And then even myself, or as a working professional, and you guys who work too, if you're packing your lunches, it can feel the same way. We need ideas. We need fresh ideas. Let me know in the comments, drop below, like what is your lunch packing pain point? I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to each other on the tolls of packing a lunch. And so before I start, I want to make sure everyone got their downloadable free lunch packing idea guide, because it has some good tips and ideas in there. It also has this formula that you can follow to make sure that you have a good, solid, balanced lunch for yourself and your kiddo. So when we're thinking of a balanced lunch, I know you go online and there's 50 million definitions of that, but this sheet right here in your guide, we want to make sure that you got a protein in there. You have a starch, like a high fiber starch is even better, something made out of like a starchy vegetable, a whole grain, like rice, quinoa, pita chips, pretzels, things like that, or a whole grain bread or wrap. We want to make sure that you got some kind of fruit and a vegetable in there. Sometimes raw veggies do great for lunch packing. And then we get a little bit of a fat in there if it's not kind of already built into your meal. Kids especially, their brains are growing and developing, and they need a little bit of healthy fat. And so that could be things like hummus or avocado or a dressing. We can get really creative here. So if you have this formula and you have all these components, there's infinite number of combos we can do with this to make it easy for you in the morning. And in fact, sometimes I'll divide them up by category. So when the kiddos get up, or maybe the night before, they can grab and you can teach them how to pack a balanced lunch so you don't end up with a bento box full of goldfish. So this can be a really helpful guide, and it gives you some ideas for each category. So that is kind of the tip to have a balanced lunch. I'd love to hear from you guys. Speaking of protein, what is one protein that your kiddos always eat? I know this summer, my kiddos got on a pepperoni kick. So we're doing a lot of pepperoni. But I'm going to show you some other ideas here too, for more protein ideas. So kind of to start off with, let's start with protein. So this is a bento box, if you can see this okay. I'm not sure if you can, but if you can see this okay, this is a wrap, a turkey wrap, with cheese, and it's like a pinwheel wrap. It's got spinach in there and cheese and low sodium deli turkey. And I put some, you could do cream cheese or mayonnaise or a mustard to get it to kind of stick together. It gives it a really good flavor. These wraps I'm using are actually, I really like the Olay brand wraps. They're high fiber. This is spinach and herb. And it has a whopping 11 grams of fiber per tortilla. So it's good to get fiber, but make sure you drink your water too. And then you can see, so I have a carbohydrate, it's my wrap. I have protein in there, and then I have my fruit and veggies on this side. And then I love these little, they're so convenient, little individualized cups. This is hummus. They have individual cups of guac. And so you're not having to peel an avocado and do all that stuff in the morning. You can get little individual things of salad dressing. Maybe your kids just love ranch. That's okay. It's getting them to eat some vegetables. It's good. So yeah, that is an example. This could be lunch or adult or kid, but it's a really good balance. Other protein ideas, it's like on this one, I made kind of a create your own salad kit, and I just did rotisserie shredded chicken. You could buy a rotisserie chicken, and HEB even sells pre-shredded chicken, so you don't even have to do that part. I actually baked a chicken the other night, so these are actually leftovers. Put a little Baby Bell cheese in there. These are, you could do something like pita chips, or these are those Milton protein crackers. I like them a lot. These are zesty ranch. Give you a little shot of protein, and then of course a salad with a dressing of your choice. Really easy. I was rushing before this started, and I threw these two meals together, like, because I had everything kind of chopped and ready to go. It was just a few minutes. It was very, very quick. And that's what we need, especially me. I need quick. We're always running late, I feel like. So I need quick. So other protein ideas. Have y'all guys seen these? The tortellinis? This is Buitoni's chicken and ricotta tortellinis. What you can do is, these are actually pretty tasty cold. So you boil them the night before and cook them in a little bit of olive oil and let them cool and put them in your fridge, drain them. And then these are great for protein and your starch, a little bit of pasta, a little bit of chicken, and you can have that with like a little dipping cup of marinara sauce to dip them in. It's really tasty. I put some veggies and some fruit with that, and you got a meal. Something different than the typical sandwich, which gets old after a while. I'm not going to beat up on sandwiches. They're a lifesaver, but if you're looking for more variety, that can be good too. Hard-boiled eggs, boiling a few at the beginning of the week, and you can throw those in there. Those individual cups of like cottage cheese, and you're filling that out with that type of balance with your fruits, your vegetables, maybe some crackers, something like that, can also be a good lunch, and you don't have to sit there and make a sandwich. You just throw it in. And so those are all possible protein ideas. For other starch ideas, you know, with the kiddos and stuff, we can do things like, these could be for your starch or for snacks. We can do popcorn, we can do pasta, we can do pretzels, Chex Mix, whole grain animal crackers can be a hit too. Every kid's a little bit different. I know like super low carb is all the trend, keto, paleo, Whole30, but those kiddos, they do need that balance. Another snack I really like is roasted chickpeas. That's a nice throw it in there. It's a great source of soluble fiber and plant protein. They're crunchy and they usually have a flavor. I actually found, this is not a starch, but at Sam's, they have these little individual bags of like roasted edamame, good for a snack, but they also have like chickpeas and things like that too. I'm going to show you more on snacks and stuff here. Dairy, we want our kids and adults too get healthy bones. If they tolerate dairy, okay. Baby Bell cheese, mozzarella string cheese, those Colby Jack cheese sticks, those can be all good. Of course, little things of yogurt, I forgot to pull them out, but I have those little Stony Brook smoothie yogurts. They're in a little bitty bottle. Sometimes when the kids just don't want to eat breakfast, I can get them a little bit of that and some fruit, and it's at least a start. Those can work for snacks too. If you throw their snacks in their little lunch cooler, that can work as well. So all good examples. And if you're lactose intolerant and you need alternative sources of calcium, we can help you there. Plant-based milks and stuff like that can work. Ripple pea milk is a good milk replacement, because sometimes with almond milk, cashew milk, they're very low in protein. So if you're trying to use that for a source of protein, something like the Ripple pea milk or soy milk can do a little bit better for you on protein. But yeah, so protein. So let's see, where are we now? Veggies, raw veggies is going to be your friend. Stuff that does not require prep is always a lifesaver, like baby carrots, cherry tomatoes. You just wash them and they're ready to go. I found in my family that if I have veggies and I don't put them in a shiny clear container, I might as well throw them in the trash because they just rot in the drawer. No one's going to touch them. No one's going to prep them. So that's become my job. What I do is I love these. They're very inexpensive, but eye-catching, like Pyrex glass containers if you're trying to kind of get away from plastic. I actually got a huge kit of Pyrex containers at Sam's the other day. A whole kit, very, very inexpensive. They're dishwasher safe. Really, really great. So cutting up things like cucumber slices, bell peppers to snack on, things like that, just easy to throw it in there. Same with fruit. If the fruit isn't prepped, my kids ate some of the strawberries already, that's why I don't have very many. But strawberries, prepping those, your different fruits, if they're prepped and ready to go in a clear container, so easy for the kids to just reach in there and grab and help pack their own lunch. And so you save your sanity a little bit, and they are learning how to balance a good, healthy meal. And so that's super important. So fruits and veggies, of course, salads are great. If the kiddos are not really into salads, the raw veggies, snacky type veggies, sugar snap peas, you can get those in the bags at H-E-B. They're very sweet and crunchy. They're great with like hummus or a ranch dip, just to kind of push them a little bit into eating more vegetables. They may come back home uneaten, but studies have shown that if you repeat exposure over and over again, even though some days it may feel kind of like banging your head on a wall, it does help, and they eventually do come around and try new things versus them never getting exposed to that. So if you're like, it keeps coming back uneaten, don't worry. We can try new things, but getting them exposed to those different textures and vegetables, it's a great idea. You can also, like in a pinch, use like the applesauce pouches and stuff like that. With these, I just try to look for ones that don't have a lot of added ingredients in them. And then, keep checking those expiration dates and make sure they're not like hiding in the back of the cupboard and going bad. So let me see here. I'm just reviewing. So bento boxes for your gear can be great. I'd love to hear from you guys. Are y'all team bento box or are you guys team Ziploc bag? There's no right or wrong answer. Growing up, I was Ziploc bag. We didn't have these cool bento boxes that I remember. Did y'all have bento boxes when you were kids? I don't remember. But I love using the stainless steel. These are Lunchbox brands. These are on Amazon. They have all kinds of different sizes. This is more of an adult size. It's a little bit deeper. They have little snack kits too. Make sure you got a good insulated bag. Ice packs, nice and slender ones, can save a lot of room. I also sometimes will use a frozen water bottle because it serves two purposes. It keeps your lunch cold and it's a cool drink later by the time they probably get to it. So that can serve as an ice pack as well. Thermoses, don't forget about these guys. If you have leftovers from dinner or the night before, maybe you did some chili or a soup or a stew, warm those up in the morning as hot as you can and put them in there and they'll keep nice and hot for lunch. These have little built-in spoons to them. This is Thermos brand. I think I got these at Target last year or something like that. But super convenient. If you don't have bento boxes, or maybe you just have like an open container, we can get really creative with little muffin cups or these silicone cups that you can put stuff into just to kind of divide it up and keep it separated, things like that. So are you guys leftover lovers, leftover haters? We love leftovers. They're definitely a godsend to us. I mean, I can cook dinner, put the stuff away in the containers, and then I just grab and go in the morning. It's beautiful. But that works if you have access to a microwave or if you have like a thermos or something to keep those foods nice and hot. So another thing is a lot of parents ask me about sweets. Well, what about sweets? Sometimes it's nice to put a little treat in your kid's bag because it kind of teaches them balance. We're not kind of using sweets as like a special reward or anything like that. It can kind of take that food off a pedestal if we normalize it. And so you can pack a beautiful lunch and then have maybe some treats, like they have these individual like Nutella, these little mini bars I found at HEB. They're refrigerated, but they're actually pretty decent. 6 grams of protein, and this is dark chocolate and peanut butter. It's called Perfect Bar, mini bars. It's just a little teeny treat you can put in there. My kids love Z-bars, so I'll let that be like a dessert for them too. And so we don't want to put too much pressure on being quote unquote healthy. We want to have that balance of, you know, all foods can fit. That can help prevent a lot of like battling over food and sneaking food and, you know, things that can happen if kids are kind of taught like these are not okay. So we want to have that balance. Now, snacks and stuff like that, I got lots of snack ideas here. You know, cheese for some protein, you know, and a carbohydrate. I will say that a really good snack for adults and kids that's nice and blood sugar stabilizing is a protein and a carbohydrate of some kind. If you have kind of some carbohydrates, like let's say you grab a bag of chips, your blood sugar can kind of do a quick spike, but then what happens 20 minutes later, we kind of crash. And so then we're tired and we're kind of reaching for like caffeine or maybe some more snacks. And so that can have a domino effect. But if you have a higher fiber carb, let's say you had like a RX bar or some edamame or some chickpeas, and then you paired that with some protein like cheese or pistachios, nuts, things like that, cashews, or an all-in-one protein bar that has protein and carb in it. That can help stabilize that like blood sugar spike and crash, and you'll feel more energized versus like, you know, we all get that lethargic, sleepy spell around 2 or 3 o'clock. So that can help. My kids really like these fig bars. It's a little bit of a treat, but they're getting some figs in them. This is Nature's Bakery. Getting some more fiber. It's like a fancier Fig Newton, basically, with a little more fiber. My kids were on a pickle fix this summer. They just wanted pickles. I found these at Sam's. It's called Oh Snap. They're little daily pickle bites that you can throw in their lunches. They do need to be kept cold, so with a cold pack. But I just found these so convenient versus like dishing stuff out of the pickle jar each time. Popcorn, it is a whole grain. I love the Smart Food popcorn, like the cheddar. Only 100 calories per bag, but it's a whole grain. It's giving you some fiber. That kind of sums up everything. With lunch packing, I would love to hear any questions you have. If you have any favorite lunches you like to pack, if you have any gear recommendations you'd like to share with the group, or your own ideas that you would love to share, I would greatly appreciate. And just let me know, say hi, and let me know if this was helpful. If you haven't already downloaded your guide, I do want to remind that there are a few recipes in there for like make-ahead stuff. Like there's a Mediterranean little salad that you can prep and pour in lunches and stuff too, just to kind of get out of that sandwich rut. There's lots of bento box ideas in there. And then we do, if you're needing more ideas and more help getting into a good meal planning routine, we do have a Food for Success's meal planning app, and I'm happy to drop that link here in a second. If you're interested in needing recipe ideas, what this program does is you send me an intake form of like kind of what's going on with you, what your goals are. We design you a meal plan and send it out to you. And then it just auto-populates meals based off those tailored parameters week after week. And it has, I think, a database of like 7,000 recipes it can pull from, and then you can customize it, swap meals in and out. It's an amazing app. And even though I don't use it like on a daily basis and follow it to a T, I do use it for its recipe database, because I can go in and plug in meals, plan my dinners, and it even accounts for leftovers, does a grocery list, it accounts for family size, so you can portion. It's pretty cool. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm going to drop those links in there and send me a message. You can also reach us at alyssa@foodforsuccess.com. And thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I hope you have a safe and blessed new school and work year. Thanks again.